Hello everybody. Today I'm back working on the Yeti FRO project, but here behind me I have the Willy Air because I'm going to be taking off the top line crank. In the last video I was trying to decide what crank to use, and I put up a short where I got a hold of this really nice purple Cook Brothers crank, but I've decided against using this and I'm going to stick with the silver top line that is on the Willy Air. Two reasons for doing this is I decided I didn't want to do too much purple on the Yeti, just kind of want to be at like light accents of purple. We have the purple spoke nipples, I'm going to be doing purple water bottle cages and potentially a purple handlebar, but that's in the works. But so instead I'm going to be using this crank on a different project. Hopefully that video will come out maybe next week. My first ever vintage mountain bike, the one that got me into vintage mountain bikes, is got a bunch of purple anodize on it. So I decided to put this crank on it, but I'm in the process of trying to find a purple middle ring because I want it to be all purple. So we're gonna set this crank aside and we're gonna start by removing the top line off of the Willy Air. Now this has 9-speed chain rings on it, and only 2. It's turned into a double. So we will need to put different chain rings on it and find spacers to make the set up the third chain ring properly. So it's going to be a little bit of some work to do, but that's okay. That's all part of a custom bike build. And it has these Campagnolo chain ring crank bolts, which looked good because they were all silver, but I'm not sure if we're going to use these or not. See what we choose to use. Oh, set the crank puller down. I'm gonna leave this bike otherwise complete, so I just need to find a different crank to put on here. This one is gonna be needed. So you can see we're going to need long chainring bolts that thread into the spider, and then spacers to offset from the chainring. So we'll take these chain rings off. These are nice chain rings, and we will find, because we're going to run 8-speed XTR, so we'll find proper chain rings and chainring bolts and spacers and get this all set. We are done with the Willy Air. I'm probably gonna find a matching XT silver, 750. Yeah, I think 750 still square taper. Whatever the XT version is, that's silver and square taper. And then we'll just keep this thing complete. So let me switch us back to the Yeti on this front stand. You start by putting the wheels and tires on. I have a front derailleur. It was actually the one I have stashed for my Rocky Mountain project, which you may have seen that video. There was a part 1 and never a part 2 or 3. It's not finished, waiting on a headset. So I'm gonna rob this for this project, and then I'll track down one of these while I track down a headset for that bike. But we're gonna put this on, we're gonna put the wheels and the tires on. I have the brakes. I'll just give you a quick tour. I have the XTR M900 brakes. We have a front derailleur. We have shifters. We're gonna put these tires on. I have one derailleur, pretty scuffed and missing pulleys, so not sure if we're gonna use that one. And this is that crank we just removed. As I mentioned, it has 9-speed chain rings, so we're going to take those off and turn this back into a 3x. So we'll have to hunt down some chain rings for that. But right now we're just going to put the tires and all the other small parts that I have, not the shifters because the handlebar situation is in the works, but we'll get some of this stuff put on. Here's the front wheel. So if you remember, we're doing Mavic 231s with titanium nuke-proof hubs and purple nipples. I'm not sure what skewers we're going to use for now. We're just going to run these purple skewers. These are nothing fancy, and we're going to go from there. So let's just get started by putting the rubber on. So we have our Ritchie World Championship Series tan wall tires. These are Ritchie Z-Max Megabytes. And then I have some Specialized Turbo. These are their like lightweight tubes. I mean, for racing only, you have to run lightweight racing tubes too. You can't be running some heavy tube. That just went work. Looks good. World champion. Got it pretty much in the middle, right? I'd say so. Pretty good job. Oh yeah. Looks good with rubber on it. We're gonna run different skewers. I can already tell because one, these are just cheap purple skewers, but two, they're too long. So the threads stick out, which is super annoying too. So, man, those tires, those are 1.9s. There is a lot of clearance for fun activities. But, woo, it already looks... Wheels just always add so much to a bike. That is so cool. Okay, we are going to work on taking these chain rings off, cleaning the XTR brakes, which I had a rag. So yeah, we're gonna get these brakes clean so we can get these on the bike. Now, I know these are not period correct. I really like the look of the XTR M900s, Canty brakes, and the whole group set in general. So I'm going to be tracking down some chain rings for this top line. Going to be doing probably a set of XTR brakes. Chain rings. So yeah, just kind of loving everything up. These were in good condition to begin with, but give them a little wipe down here and they'll be even better. I did realize I need a wrench because they're to loosen the cable. It's a wrench, not a Allen wrench. So I'll just clean these two up. Then I'll go find a wrench and we'll get that going. So we're only going to be able to get it partially together today, but it's just one step closer in the build. Oh. And they got the logo is really good on them, which is nice. Not all worn off. XTR pads. This one, the logo's a little worn off, but it's not the end of the world. And the pad, it's worn off too. Okay. We also have the shifters. I was wondering why the shifter seems so heavy. There was a pick magnetically stuck to it. That's a little bit of a bummer. We got a rusty bolt there, which I think we can take care of. This one doesn't look bad. So we're going to need a Phillips to take those apart. Get these cables out of here. It's got a little access port. You sometimes just gotta twist the cable with your fingers while pushing it out. Get it to come out of the hole. We're gonna run new cables. Oh, we're gonna need one hood. For some reason I thought we had two hoods, but that's okay. Oh. I have more hoods, so that's not a problem. But we will actually take that off so we can clean it. This one's pretty greased up. Oh yeah, we're gonna need it's the initial bath. So this is a 4 mil. I'm gonna take this off. 1, so we can clean better, and 2, so we can replace this rusty bolt with a non-rusty bolt. That's why you keep all your broken shifters, so that you can repair them. And for cleaner, we're using Muck Off. Been finding this stuff to work good. And one of my, the stuff can't smell bad, otherwise I won't use it. And some of the stuff is like way too fake citrusy smelling, and it just, that smell drives me crazy. But this stuff doesn't really have a noticeable odor, thankfully. Okay, so now we need to go look for a shifter hood and a bolt. Let's go see what we can find. So I found my bag of hoods for XTR. So we have that. And now I have to find the right box. Here we go. Hold on. Let me put this on the ground here. So these are all broken shifters, but I keep them all, and I need to go through them and pull hoods off and stuff, but right now we're just looking for an XTR one so we can pull a hood, pull a bolt. We could do silver bolts off these XTs. We just have to replace both, but we do have both. Might actually like that better, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna do silver bolts. Too much stuff, not enough days. That's always the problem. But it's here, and it's safe, and we gladly will help anyone out who needs parts for their shifters. Okay. So now we have to hope these are the same threads. Okay. Threads are the same. They'll fit in there. So we're just going to need to clean these bolts up too a little, make them shine. But I think the silver will actually look better than the black. Okay. Back with some worn out Scotch-Brite, but it'll do the trick. Don't want to lose that washer. Okay. Quick little rub down and they're back to being shiny. And so see there's these little indicators that shows you where, oh, that's a 4, I need a 5. It shows you where the shifter and you want the shifter and the mount to be. Oh yeah, I think that silver looks good in there. Way better than that black one. So yeah, you just line those indicators up. So I see there's a little bit of grime. That's what I do. So I just spray the Q-tip. A little bit of grime in there. And then kind of those hard to reach places you can't get a finger or rag into. Okay, so we're gonna set, well first we're gonna, so these Shimano hoods have right or left on them. So this is the left. It goes on there like that. And that little part fits in there. So that means we need to find a right in our bag of hoods. There's one of those. And now we're just going to wipe this up quick. Make it look a little bit more black. That's a right. So it'll go on the right. And now our shifters are ready to go on. But we don't have the bar situation solved yet. So next, while we're just here tinkering, we're going to take our chain rings off this crankset. Nice race face chainring bolts too. Jeez. So I think I have a set of, I have a friend who has a set of XTR M900 chain rings. So I'm going to get those. Those will go on this crank. I will need to track down some spacers for it, but I'm pretty sure I have some or can make some. So there's that. Got some chain rings. We'll get those up on the shop because I don't have a use for them, along with these race face chainring bolts. So now the only thing we have left that we can do at the moment is put the brakes on. So we'll put the brakes on. So I have the brakes on and I have our titanium handlebar here, and my problem with the titanium handlebar is that the IBIS titanium stem is polished and the hubs are polished on the nuke-proof hubs, and then this handlebar isn't. So we are going to polish this titanium handlebar. Now, just to get an idea what we got going on, I just went at this for a little bit with just Scotch-Brite and some metal polish. And it's a little better and more kind of cleaned it up. It looked like this side. It's a little bit shinier, but it's still not the right shine. So we're going to hit this with some sandpaper, working our way down to finer grits. And we're going to see if we can get it to look shiny. So that is going to be our next project. We're going to cut this video off here. And next week's video will be on polishing this handlebar and putting the handlebar on, getting the shifters mounted up, getting the brakes all tuned up. And then hopefully by next week, I'll have the chain rings for the crank set. So just an overview. We installed the wheels and with the nuke-proof hubs and the Ritchie tires. We have the XTR M900 brakes on. We mounted the front derailleur that I stole from my Rocky Mountain project. And so we're slowly getting there, but it's starting to look like a bike. If you like this video and are enjoying the process of building up this Yeti, please like and subscribe. It means a ton. Let me know what you think of the build. If you're working on your own project, make sure to check out our store, gringineercycles.com. We have over 1,200 parts up and new parts are added weekly. There'll be a link to that below. And have a great rest of your day. Bye.